So, compassion towards the other is obviously regularly spoken of. Being of service to others, being good to others, um, and taking care of others. It's an area that obviously a lot's been said about. What about compassion to yourself? The Buddhas once stated compassion towards others and not to yourself is half the equation. So what I wanted to talk about today was compassion towards yourself. This came out of a short conversation I had with a friend in which there was a realization that they'd been obviously doing so much for everybody else that they kind of neglecting their own needs. So what was happening was they were running around, they were helping other people, helping them get their lives in order and everything, but themselves were suffering. They were in a bad position because obviously they weren't getting to rest right, eat right, or even just generally have the normal pleasures of a normal life. And it came down invariably down to this whole question of compassion for yourself as well as other people as well. And if everything is one consciousness, by having compassion for yourself, you are in a sense also having compassion for others, because if you're in a better place, you're more likely to be able to help other people as well. If you're able to rest adequately, and have the mod cons of a good life, and basically be happy within yourself instead of being tired, overworked, and stressed, what you'll find is your relationship with others around you will be so much better. It's also really about valuing yourselves as well, because we've got this whole idea of being a good person is always about helping the others and putting other people's needs, ahead of your own. What you find is then we've got this situation where people are thinking, well, I couldn't possibly, kind of be good to myself too much. I've a very dear friend, and he is great at helping people, like I said, but it's amazing how he's great at giving, but not very good at receiving as well. And invariably, what that basically means is you've only really got half of the equation there in hand, and true value of yourself and of others isn't actually occurring. If the other is a part of you and you are a part of the other, you're not receiving, you're not giving, you're not obviously taking care of everything, is basically meaning that you're not living optimally, you're not living to the best of your abilities and stuff. So this compassion towards oneself is important, because in feeling good within yourself, in realizing yourself and everything, what you can find is you can affect everything around you. That's why I think there's a very famous quote by Marion Williamson, it's not our, I think it's not our darkness, it's our light that scares us most and stuff. And we've been so conditioned into believing that it's all about being a good person and turning the other cheek and not saying what we really want to say and not living the life that we're meant to. And the measure of a good person is in how many other people they can help. We tend to, in a sense, let ourselves go. And that's the greatest disservice you can do, because when you're sitting there and you're wasted, or you've not slept, or you've not living the life that you're meant to be doing, then invariably the contribution you can make to the world is actually not being optimized. It isn't efficient and stuff. So yes, value yourself. Yes, have compassion towards yourself. Yes, take care of yourself, because your gifts and what you can bring to this world are unique. And if you're coming out half cocked, so to speak, you're not really doing what you're really meant to be doing. And in this whole journey called life, and this whole idea of realization and realizing what you truly are, there is a call for authenticity, to be as it actually is, because that's what will resolve things, as opposed to let us play an image, let us try to do this, or let us try to do that. Let me follow the theories that point to something, but never jump past the pointers, never jump past the concepts or the theories into what I truly am, in which even the act of compassion for yourself will be compassion for everything around you. And even this act of compassion for others, which we've got down to a T, will lead it back to yourself. Because what you will find, and it's something I find myself personally, is in all this compassion to other people, it led back to me, because I was continuously seeing people coming along, doing well and everything, and I was kind of like, hold on, this is kind of interesting. They're kind of listening even more than I'm listening to myself. And that's when I realized that, the other half of the equation was I've got to value myself. I've got to know my worth as well. And that's how I'm ultimately going to do my work. That's how I'm going to get out into the world in a better place and everything, by recognizing that there's two sides of the equation. There is that compassion to others, and there is that compassion to yourself.